Okay, hi guys. My name is Sophie. I'm Michelle's coach. If you haven't met me before, I'm based in the UK, hence my pre-recorded Zoom this week. I think your Zoom is about 1 a.m. for me, so if I was doing a Zoom at 1 a.m., I wouldn't have anything worthwhile to listen to. So yes, pre-recorded. Which means unfortunately I won't get to have like your live reactions next to me or seeing how you're relating to stuff. So if there are things that I bring up today that you feel you relate to, I would recommend kind of continuing that chat in your group chats, and also if you feel like I've missed anything out or and you want to share a personal experience of yours, I'm sure everybody would be super supportive. And yeah, I'd love to read like the continuation of this Zoom in any of your group chats just to see how it is. This is also my first Zoom ever, so if you just be a little bit patient with me, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so this week we're talking about how to be socially engaging during summer, and we're also going to touch on like the insecurities we have during the summer period, and how to overcome them, how to recognize them when they come about, and what to do with those. So yeah, summer is pinned to us as like an idea of being kind of carefree, this like magical time where you don't care about anything, everybody's flying around lightly, all airy and happy, not worried about anything. But in fact it's probably the opposite of that, right? We get ourselves wrapped up in the worries of more things than I think in any other season, actually. What we're wearing, who we're going to see, what we're going to eat, how many people are going to be there, all those things. So because I don't have like a live thing of you guys, I've kind of taken insecurities from my own experiences. Michelle's spoke to me about a couple that she has, and so has Coach Evie. I've taken a few from like the group chats when I've seen like a commonality and stuff like that. So I've just go through my list of insecurities over summer and tell me in the group chats, obviously, if you relate to these things. The first one was one of Michelle's that she brought up to me, was the fact that in summer there's just a longer amount of daylight hours, essentially meaning people see more of you for longer. The light bounces off every part of you, every angle, all of those things, and I can definitely relate to that. I live by the sea, down in Cornwall, for anyone that's interested, and I would always make sure that I was like had my back against a wall or something, so that I knew what parts of me were being seen and I could control it. And I would always have a towel wrapped around like my midriff. Those are some distinct things that I recognise myself doing, and you want to enjoy summer, you don't want to have to think about these things. So we will get into like specifics and how to cope with those things after. I'm just going to list a whole load of insecurities first of all. Second one is obviously like the glaringly obvious one that we have an expectation to wear: swimsuits. Whether it's a bikini or a one piece or you know, I don't know if you have them up there, but we have tankinis, which kind of cover our bellies, but are still two pieces. You know, they're not exactly, what's the word, they're not exactly flattering for someone who doesn't enjoy wearing them. But, you know, what I've come to learn in just, you know, on my journey of becoming more confident, etc., is just get something that's comfortable. And, you know, to be honest, you don't even have to wear one. Just wear what the hell you want and go in the sea. As long as you bring like a second outfit, a dry outfit, who cares if you're going in a t-shirt or not. But yeah, we all want to look nice during summer, so yeah, the swimsuit thing is a huge thing. For me, it wasn't just about my body and how it looked, it was also the hair. I have adrenal involvement as well, so my hair grows just ridiculous. I would shave one day and then the next day they would be like half the length that I shaved them but the day before, so it was always being mindful of that as well. That's what I don't like about swimsuits, the fact that just everything is on show. Yeah, so yeah, another insecurity is just the anticipation or the fear that someone is even going to make a comment in the first place. I think I'm quite lucky in that I haven't had anybody really make that comment, but the thing is just kind of just the fear in itself of a comment being made was enough to kind of shatter any confidence that I may have built up. And I know for sure if anybody had said something to me, I probably would never have left the house ever again. So definitely give your opinions on that one. Another one which is huge in the summer is the comparisons that we make to healthy people, which is, you know, another thing that I'll bring up in the how to deal with it section. But, you know, those people don't deal with what we deal with 24/7. So, you know, we can't compare. And, you know, the stereotype of like this summer ready body is just too much effort in my opinion. I think with the comparison thing, we tend to do it with people around us. We tend to do it with what society pushes on us, what Instagram says. You know, beauty standards have changed over hundreds and hundreds of years. Who's to say that that's going to be the way society wants us in another 100? You know, you can't focus on those things. And one of my biggest insecurities over summer was sweating. Oh, I just hate it. I love the sun, but I can't do anything in it. I just have to kind of lie in it. I can't, because I suffer with hidradenitis suppurativa as well. Sweating is like a huge thing. Even when I was like undiagnosed, or, you know, when I was younger and fitter, I would sweat all the time. I would go really, really red. And those are some things that cause insecurities, because you're worried about what other people are going to think about that. Okay, so that's my kind of short list of insecurities that I think would be relatable to everybody. Obviously, like I said, kind of bring up ones that you think I missed or ones kind of personable to you. but being socially engaging in the summer. Yeah, but we want to be as social as possible. I think it's in our nature to want to be around people, to be connected to people. Obviously, say something if you disagree, but I've definitely found in my life that I prefer to be around people. So summer always became an issue for me in terms of certain scenarios that we're going to talk about a little bit. One, and this is also something that Coach Evie brought up to me as well, is the fact that when you're in one of these situations, you're in a nice kind of, I don't know, beach party or just a beach day, any summer social setting, you're more worried about the way people are looking at you and what people are thinking of you than the actual conversation you're in. So you're never really that present, you're never really connected to the people that want to see you and that probably love you, you know. That's an upsetting one, you know, not being able to be present because you're too worried about things that essentially I'm sure the people around you don't care that much about. The second one would be this one is personable to me. I would never want to go on like a summer walk or do anything too active because of because of sweating, because of going red. The boob sweat is real for me. Yeah, it would be more the perception that of other people. Like, I would be worried that people would look at me and go, oh, she's just like really unhealthy and just really unfit. Look how red she's going because she's fat and she's bigger. But actually the reality of it is I just have always gone red. But yeah, for me it was the what people are thinking that was the worst. Another one as well, because I do live by the sea, people would want to be spontaneous all the time and like just be absolutely fine with it. Like we would go for a nice walk or something and then they'd be like, oh, the sea looks so nice, let's just jump in. And I'm like a deer in headlights. I'm like, yeah, you know, the idea of somebody watching me undress spontaneously before I've had a chance to like figure it out in my brain, know that, you know, I've shaved my legs or anything like that, that was just the most terrifying thing to me, because you don't want to seem like the prude of the group that doesn't want to have fun or want to do things. But when you're chronically ill and you have these insecurities, there's an extra level of mental thinking that you have to go through. There just is, at least for me. Let me know if there is for you too. Another one in social settings that was brought up last Zoom, I think, more to do with the food side of things, but is feeling the need to explain yourself or defend yourself always. I think that definitely keeps you, again, not present from the situation because you're always in like a defensive mode, like ready to just jump at any point if anyone were to say anything. Oh, well, I've got this, you know, or well, it makes me sick. You know, the fact that we have to think about justifying it, there's just always brain space being kind of taken up, which just unnecessary. We don't want that. So how to deal with them, how to overcome it, let's talk about it. First of all, I would say when you have something planned, it's a good idea to sit with yourself for a sec and remind yourself what you want out of the situation. Do you want fun? Do you want comfort? Do you want relaxation? Do you want socialization and to catch up with your friends? I think even saying it out loud before you leave the house, and Michelle has touched on this before with the whole fake it till you make it thing. The idea of before you leave going, I'm going to have fun, or I'm going to be relaxed today. I just think like the mental process of actually hearing it out loud reminds you, this is my intention today, so I'm not going to let anything else get in the way of that. And on top of that, the fake it till you make it thing is just, I know it sounds backwards, but even if you aren't feeling it and you're really not looking forward to it, if you say it enough and you just kind of act it, it does actually make a difference, and you do start to do what you intended to do: have fun, be comfortable, be relaxed. It's good to remind yourself that like there is some kind of pleasure that you're going to gain from the situation, and it's worth it for you to pursue that if that is what you want. Otherwise you're going to not enjoy your summer, and why should you not enjoy it versus anybody else? That's the bottom line, really. My second point is how we should remind ourselves that things are relative. We compare ourselves to people all day long in terms of what we want. So in the olden days, I want to be skinnier, I want to be more energetic, I want to be carefree, which is what you perceive of the other person that you don't have. If you really, there's so much more kind of to humanity than that. Humour, compassion, skillsmanship, intellect, and that's not to say that those things, you have to that now self-validate those things because you're not the other things. It's just like reminding ourselves that things are way more than skin deep, and the majority of people do see that. It's the same as Michelle saying, how many times have you noticed somebody the same size as you walking down the street? Like, you don't, because everybody is more wrapped up in their own stuff to really care about the way you look. I know it sounds like a bit backwards, but it's true. Like, we don't notice each other really, and even if we did, the people that would care about that aren't worth being in your lives in the first place. So there is that. Being present, trying to be as present as we can in the moment, kind of taking away from trying to ignore that mental space, and thinking, I'm actually going to focus on catching up with my friend today. I'm going to listen to what she has to say. I'm going to engross myself in their world, and having kind of actual mindful conversations, and just being real deep into the moment. I find that I've been speaking to a couple of clients about how meditation is a really important thing for this, and also going back to like the affirming how you want your day to go out loud before you leave. It's important to recognise that we are the only people that can control how we feel. Like, be the thermostat. But if we leave the house letting everything else influence our day, we are tenfold increasing the chances of having a bad day if you think of all the external circumstances that could affect you. So, it's got to come from within, it's got to come from yourself, to think, I'm going to have a good day today. I say every morning, I'm going to have a good day, and I'm not going to let others affect me, because, you just live a grumpy life otherwise. So it's got to just be brushed over. And I know it's easier said than done, and it takes a lot of practice, but do those affirmations, guys. And another real good technique to use when we're worried, especially about appearance, is the so what appearance. And I've done this with a couple of clients now, and I always say, like, I'm just going to do an exercise with you that's going to annoy you for a second. So I apologise for annoying you, but I'm going to do it, and then we can talk about it afterwards, and I hope you still love me. And it's the so what challenge exercise. And it's, when you're thinking about how you're worried about the way you look, you go, so what? So I've done it with a couple of clients. They go, oh, I don't want to have this photo taken, or I don't want to, be part of this. Why? Oh, because I look really fat and ugly. So, oh well, it's not very pleasing to people. So, just like an annoying 5-year-old. Just like asking why all the time, until you get to, and I would recommend doing it to yourself until you get to like the real nitty gritty reason of why, which, I mean, at the end of most of the conversations, they're just like, don't know actually, and we really get into the fact that it doesn't matter, and the more we keep telling ourselves that, the easier we're going to find being sociable. So, yeah, that's my Zoom. It was a little bit janky. I had to keep pausing because I live in a house with 5 other people now, and it's never peaceful. But yeah, I hope you got something out of it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I have come across the way I've wanted to. I'm not the best at kind of talking to a camera by myself, so yeah. If you have any questions about what we've talked about today, my messages are always open. Don't forget to interact in your groups to talk about what we've talked about today. And nice to speak to you all, and I'll speak to you soon.